The world is full of urban legends, remarkable stories that spread like viruses around the planet, mutating and evolving until no one can remember which are true and which are urban legends. In this episode called Upstairs Downstairs, you'll see 3 incredible stories about the people who discover strange things going on in their homes. First up, Donna Graybiel is tormented by a mystery caller who just won't get the message.
Who is this?
Then Sharon Lyle meets her boyfriend's parents for the first time, with disastrous consequences. And finally, housewife Tricia Robinson is plagued by mysterious things that go bump in the night. Watch all 3 stories and decide which ones are true and which ones are false. Find out if you guessed right at the end of the show. Our first tale is a story we've named Cold Call. The historic town of Malden, Massachusetts has been around for 300 years. The residents here think it's a tranquil place, but one local woman would disagree. Meet Donna Graybiel.
My husband and I started a business that the office was in our home, and my husband at the time repaired food preparation equipment.
Donna's business phone started to ring straight away, but there were calls that would change her life forever.
Hello?
On February 14th, 1995, Donna is working in the office in her home.
Hello?
Who was it?
No one.
I noticed that the business phone would ring a couple times a day, and there would be nobody there.
Hello?
You start to think, is somebody watching me? Like, is it like a stalker? And you do start to think like that, and that adds to, you're starting to feel scared.
Say something. Stop calling me!
Then the silent calls get more frequent.
Hello?
The mystery caller telephones day and night. After 2 weeks, the phone is ringing every 90 minutes.
Who is this?
It got so that I'm using it as a timer. Like, if the phone rang, I can lay down and take a nap for an hour and a half. If I put the cake in the oven now, when the phone goes off, it's done.
After 6 months of telephone torture, Donna has had enough.
So I called the phone company and I told them about all the ghost calls.
Hello?
They wanted me to log every call, and I was supposed to call the phone company every time I got a call. Well, now the phone company's getting mad at me because I'm calling them every hour and a half to tell them that I have a phone call. They're saying, we know.
The phone company tracks the calls to a house in Potomac, Maryland.
Do you know a Donna Graybiel?
They ask the police to question the owners. However, they know nothing about the calls.
I don't think so.
We've actually traced the call to this house.
Well, that can't be. We don't know this person you're talking about.
Well, sometimes when I pick up the phone, there's a sound of someone else dialing, but there's nobody else in the house.
You can't hear any voices on the other line, or?
No, just the sound of the dialing, and then I usually hang up.
The cops get an engineer to trace the phone line going into the Maryland house. It should lead them to the phone and the person making the ghost calls. It leads into the basement. But one line splits off away from the others.
Who is this?
Donna Graybiel, it's Harold Herman from the phone company.
Phone company.
We figured it out. You won't believe this.
After thousands of calls, The identity of the mystery caller is finally revealed. It's an oil tank.
It had a redialing device on it that in the 70s was an experiment. It was supposed to call the oil company when it got low.
But a freak storm scrambled the auto dialer's memory, so it mistakenly calls Donna's 1-800 business number.
You know, you just hear any phone ring now, you just, you know, you get so disheartened and you just want to go someplace where there are no phones, like camping.
Does this story ring true, or have we got our wires crossed? Find out at the end of the show. Mini-myth number 2431, Super Toilet Bowl. Everyone knows that the Super Bowl is huge. It's the most watched TV show in the US each year, and it's treated like a national holiday, nearly on par with Thanksgiving. Millions around the nation guzzle drinks while watching the game, and wait until halftime before answering the call of nature. But all that simultaneous toilet flushing pushes sewage systems to breaking points. And that's what happened in Salt Lake City in 1984, when the tsunami of sewage broke a water main during halftime. So is this toilet tidal wave true, or is it just a flush in the pan? It's false. The Salt Lake City incident was just a coincidence. The Super Bowl has a special place in urban legend land, including false claims of skyrocketing avocado sales for all that guacamole. On Urban Legends, we show you 3 incredible stories. You must decide which ones are tremendously true and which ones are fantastically phony. So far, you've seen the tale of Donna Graybiel, who was tormented by prank calls until engineers found that her number was being auto-dialed by a malfunctioning oil tank. But is this story true? Find out at the end of the show. Now it's time for our second story. It's called First Impressions. The area around Cambridge, Maryland is prized for its natural beauty, a romantic setting for 2 people to fall in love. Meet Sharon Lyle and Richard Ross.
Richard and I met a few summers ago now, at the restaurant that I worked at, Manilo's.
Yeah.
When Sharon was invited to Richard's family retreat, the relationship almost came crashing down. On August 28, 2005, Sharon arrives at Richard's place dressed for brunch. Today, she meets his mother and father for the first time. But impressing his stuffy parents isn't going to be easy.
Well, Richard tells me that he met you at a bar.
I do work at a bar.
How charming.
It's a cute pub. You should stop by.
Really?
4 months earlier, Richard is relaxing in the bar where Sharon works.
Me and my buddy went in there one day, and I saw this waitress.
For Richard, the attraction is instant.
By far the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen.
I thought he was really cute, but I never expected anything to happen.
So Sharon is overjoyed when Richard makes a move.
So finally, I got up the courage to ask her out.
I was shocked, but really excited.
Despite being from very different backgrounds, romance blossoms.
I drove around in my car, I took her out to the beach and had some picnics and stuff.
Perfect summer romance, really.
But something is playing on Sharon's mind.
But after a while, I started to wonder, how serious we were actually going to get, because it'd been months and he had yet to introduce me to his parents. Finally, I had to bring up the subject.
Hey, what's wrong?
Are you ashamed of me? Am I just some summer fling no one has to know about?
What makes you say that?
I don't know, maybe the fact that we've been dating for a couple months and I've never even met your parents.
Yeah, because they're uptight and snobbish.
Richard's family is very well off, and I just thought that might be an issue.
How about Sunday?
So I invited her over to a Sunday brunch.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
He warned me that his family's very proper, That made me extremely nervous.
And Sharon's jitters aren't calmed by all the formalities at the brunch.
I have never seen so many pieces of silverware on a table at once. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. I was totally lost.
That's right.
And I looked over at Richard, just panicked.
There were a few bumps during the brunch, but no problems. We got through them.
As the meal goes on, Sharon gets more relaxed, but it's only thanks to her liberal intake of alcohol.
I don't know if it was because of the wine or my nerves, but I really had to pee. So I asked if I could use the powder room, which I thought was, the polite way to ask for the bathroom.
It's upstairs.
So Richard's mom gave me directions, and I'm walking through this hallway. There's doors everywhere, but finally I find the room she's talking about.
But it's not exactly what Sharon so desperately needs.
I go in, and to my surprise, Richard's family is so well off that they actually have a powder room, strictly a powder room, just a sink and a vanity, no toilet. By this time, I really had to pee, and I was too embarrassed to admit that I actually needed a bathroom.
So with her bladder ready to burst, Sharon decides to improvise.
There was this huge crash from upstairs, and I leapt out of my chair and rushed up the stairs.
Next thing I knew, I woke up on the floor, and I look up, and there's Richard and his parents staring at me, just horrified. And I wanted to die.
So is this bursting bladder blunder true, or have we been caught short in a lie? Find out at the end of the show. But before that, check out this mini-myth. Mini-myth number 265. Explosive evidence. Manchester, England. A petty thief traveling on a train to Bournemouth snatches a bag from a luggage rack and gets off at the next stop. He takes the bag to his house before opening it. Inside, he finds enough explosives and detonators to make several bombs. He runs outside and throws the bag into his garden, running down the street screaming, "It's a bomb." Scotland Yard is called, and the bomb squad rushes to the scene to make safe the explosives. So is this great train robbery true, or have we blown it out of all proportion? It's true. Police suspected the thief had unwittingly foiled an IRA terrorist plot. Everyone within half a mile of the suitcase was evacuated until it was made safe. Now it's time for a final story. We call this one Unwanted. The town of Horden, England, was famous for its mining industry, though the glory days have long gone. But that doesn't mean people don't want to live here. Meet Tricia Robinson.
It started happening I would say about 2 or 3 months after moving in.
Something else moved in with Tricia that made her life a living hell.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
On September 14th, 1999, Tricia welcomes an unusual visitor so he can get rid of an unwanted presence.
From all forms of evil.
We actually thought we had a poltergeist. He'd went round each room saying prayers and that with his book.
In the name of the Father.
Tricia has endured her ghoulish guest for 2 months.
Watching the telly on a night when the children are all in bed, fast asleep, actually hearing squeaking noises upstairs. Just unusual noises. By the time I got half up the stairs, the noise would stop. I'd come back down. Once again, the noise would start again. But we just put it down imagination, or maybe it's next door neighbour, you know what I mean? So we just went on from there.
It isn't just noises. Strange things happen around the house.
Things just got really, really bizarre, do you know what I mean? The kettle would have been left on. The chairs would just been moved.
Tricia even comes home one day and finds cigarettes still smoldering in the ashtray.
There was no explanation at all. The house was locked and secured. There was just no way anyone could have been in.
Thinking someone has keys to her house, Tricia phones her landlord, Durham Council.
I have phoned the council came out and changed the locks.
But this doesn't stop the strange occurrences and weird noises.
I was down in the dumps and I was hearing things and that. Basically, I just put it down to me going insane. I actually got the doctors involved.
Tricia sees a psychiatrist, but he finds nothing wrong. So her doctor prescribes sleeping pills so she can ignore the things that go bump in the night. But still, the noises continue.
Got to a stage where I knew it wasn't me. It was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The local ice cream man came round.
Mum, can I have some money for ice cream?
Yeah, all right. There's some up by the phone there.
Okay. There's no money here.
The money was gone.
Mommy, wake up. I heard a noise. Mommy, wake up.
Now Tricia's kids are also getting spooked by the noises. Two weeks later, Tricia comes home to find that things are missing.
The brand new telly had been stolen out of the house, but both the doors were locked still. So I phoned the police. The police came out, asked me if there was any sign of break, and I said no. The explanations ran out. The locks had been changed. The windows were locked. There was no way anyone could get in my house. Impossible.
In the name of the Father.
So that's why we actually contacted the priest.
Amen. Holy Mary, Mother of God, protect us.
But the strange disturbances get worse. It's clear that the exorcism hasn't worked.
I moved away. I moved back to my mum's for a moment. And then 4 weeks later, we got a phone call off the police.
The cops are following a lead on a burglary of a house a few doors away. They storm the attic and find the cause of the haunting. Teenagers living in her loft space.
I think it was more of just like a little hideout for them. They'd been smoking up there, drinking up there. I was just so lucky that they actually did break that lady's house.
So is this story of fake phantoms for real, or is it all just smoke and mirrors? You don't have to wait much longer to find out. Mini myth number 177, fog jockey. In 1990, a thick fog hangs over a Louisiana racetrack when the crowd peers through the gloom to see jockey Sylvester Carmuche cross the finish line first. He won the race by 24 lengths and broke the track record. A feat made more impressive since the odds on his horse were 23-1. But after a number of jockeys complained that Carmuche never passed them, officials become suspicious. It transpires that after starting the race, Carmuche hid in the fog until he could see his competitors coming around the track for the final time. Seizing his opportunity, cheat Carmuche simply started in front of the field to run home in first place. So, is this foggy fable a sure bet, or are we just flogging a dead horse? Is it true or false? It's true. Carmuche was banned for 10 years from racing, but was reinstated after only serving 8 years of his ban. Now it's time to reveal the truth about our 3 stories. First up, It's a tale of Sharon Lyle, the girl who tried to use her boyfriend's parents' sink as a toilet, but ended up damaging the bathroom and her reputation. But is it true or false?
This story is false. I've never seen this man before in my life.
Surprisingly, only first recorded in 1991, this myth is usually set in a British mansion. Similar versions of the legend feature nervous guests sitting on the family pet's chihuahua.
Hello.
So what about the story of Donna Graybiel, the woman who was tormented by prank calls, only to discover that they were being made by a faulty device attached to someone else's oil tank? What's your call on this story?
My name is Donna Graybiel, and this is a true story.
You won't believe this.
Donna thought her telephone torture had ended until she received a hefty bill for the 2,600 calls the auto dialer made to her 1-800 number. Which leaves the story of Tricia Robinson, the woman who thought her house was being haunted by a poltergeist, only to discover it was just a gang of teenagers living in her loft space. But is it true or false?
My name's Tricia Robinson, and this is a true story.
Tricia's teen tormentors were getting into her attic through a hole in the roof. She still sometimes wakes at night, thinking she's heard a strange noise. That's the end of our episode called Upstairs Downstairs. Did you spot the true tales, or did you build your hopes in the stories without foundation? However you fared, you'll get another chance to separate fact from fiction in the next installment of Urban Legends.